zone today.
Oh, I thought you were asking for ice.
No, ice was in here in town today.
Doggy, you better run and hide.
This is the run and hide frequency.
Send me back to Germany or something.
Now, this is the run and hide frequency, Dennis said.
Or the old tube radio frequency.
There he is. That's the person I've been waiting for. Oh, yeah. And I tried last week to get in touch with you, but you weren't there.
You are correct. I wasn't there, but I'm here now. So let's move it over to Mr. Announcer and the singers, who are going to let us know, maybe.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Yeah, I know. I'm still not used to all the new things that we've got here, and pictures and uploads and downloads and linky things. But anyway, hello, the Old Tube Radio Network. Dennis, your net controller tonight, one of the many net controllers to sit in the air chair in the last 40 years on the Old Tube Radio Network. We are live at 27085, that's Channel 11 here in the Central Valley of California, perhaps beaconing via some DX to who knows where. Courtesy of the Universal Media Netweb, oldtuberadio.net. There is a link to hear the audio. There's a link to see some video. I think the new thing now at the .net page is, if it's there, yeah, there's the comments show up. You can comment on the page. I believe you can turn the audio on by going to the red arrow on the video portion. And I want to probably make sure that I don't turn that on. Go into the yeah, it's right there. Or else I'll hear myself more than I want to. Other than that, here we are once again, back in the air chair. Completed all the stuff I had to do last week. And so here we are again. We'd be checking in the radios coming up, the classic radios from the 1958 to about 1978. Also, it is 00 time, and we will be doing that. Let me do that now so we can get started. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. 00. How do we do that, Chad? Everybody that had perfect attendance goes into the little bin thing here, and we pull out one, and then that goes to 00. It used to be reserved for the FCC commissioner back in a long time ago. I have procured an item of interest, and it is a station who is no stranger to being 00, mainly because I think if we totaled up all the check-ins over 40 years, he would have the most. He would have just under 1 million check-ins. SWL 14, Wayne, Rickshaw, Kid, are you out there? Over. All right, he is not ready yet, so let me get into the check-in modes, but we will get everybody in 00. And thanks to, who was it, 15, I think. It was Hans who did a good job and was in the running yet again. SWL number 1 is around. SWL number 2, who checked in via the crossband. He could actually make some noise and I would hear him, but 2, who is 9 pounds, good modulation. And I wasn't sure if you were on the HT antenna when you were jumping in there, number 2, or were you on the big antenna? Because your signal was not bad at all.
Can you get an early check-in, Dennis?
HT antenna, AE6ER.
Okay, on the HT antenna. Still good. You're still at, not full quieting, but that's doing a good job. Your transmit is fine with no problem, and 2 is checked in. Yes, so let's get some early check-ins, and we will start with SWL 37. Hello, Chris, over.
Hello, Dennis. Hope you don't mind me checking in early. I'm right in the middle of a good movie.
This is the good movie frequency. While I was away, and I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, I had not seen any of the movies, but I went to a big concert hall somewhere, and they were showing the version of the second Harry Potter, but they had the Philharmonic Orchestra live in the pit above or below the screen, and they were playing the music live. So that was exciting. That was my movie night last week.
Were you in Los Angeles?
I was in Los Angeles, but then you make a left turn and go about 1,500 miles.
You're in Kansas.
Yes, well, actually, this was in Kansas City. Mo is where we were at for this, but yeah, it was the Kansas thing. So you are checked in, sounding good, and back to the movie. Grab your popcorn.
Okay, my nephew lives there in Kansas City.
It's a big town. I didn't realize. Nice place to visit. It was warm and then it was cold. It didn't snow. It didn't rain. We got you checked in.
Now, which side of the river were you on, Kansas or Missouri?
Well, let's see. Well, we were on the Missouri side, and then when I was done, we were on the Kansas side, the Missouri River back in Lawrence.
I bet it was cold too. All right, Dennis. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear you made it back.
All right. It's kind of like mountain weather around here, dry and clear and cold. Looking for early check-ins. I see the jumping dolphins. It always makes my day when the dolphins are jumping. Who needs an early check-in here on the L2 Radio Network?
24 checking in.
All right, we got 2424. Thank you, Joseph. Looking good and sounding good. Who else was in for an early check-in? Over.
61.
Dennis, get 650.
All right, 61, Copenhagen, way out there. Can you hear me okay tonight? Over.
Yeah, I got you 8 pounds.
Yeah. Okay, good. We put a little extra log on the fire tonight, I think. And so that should help. We got you checked in. Thanks.
Thanks, Dennis.
And you're sounding at 650 also. Thanks, Joe. We will get that.
Thank you.
Who else needs an early check-in OTR listening?
195.
195 up in Corscold. Can you hear me okay tonight? Over.
Oh, you're coming in wall to wall up here.
Wall to wall, and if there were treetops, they would be tall. Thank you, sir. You are checked in.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll continue with the directed net roll call. I believe I didn't get a chance to check in with JT, but we will do that in a little bit when he comes up on the roster. Got to find my pen in the proper sheet. We are in the new 8-week period. Got a proxy check in for SWL number 3. Over to SWL 5. Maybe 5. Maybe Levon is still over an old radio night. I'm not sure what they're doing. I think they're giving away a Buick. I don't know what they're doing. There's always something good there. Looking for Levon. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to leave a chat now, even if you're not on the not the Facebook, but on the YouTube. I think you could do it from the .net. That's what we said. It could be broken. I don't know. There's a lot of wacky stuff going on. Caller Radio, GE. Dennis checking in. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in out there. Let's see if Mr. Ed is around. SWL 7. And hey, John, 128, I see you. I'll check you in now, but I think there's a way, if you're on the, like you normally do on the .net page, to get in on the chat window. Maybe or maybe not. We're working on that, but I see you. Actually, I see you there, so maybe that's how you did it. I don't know anymore, because now I can look all sorts of places and see whoever might be there. The old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark, they are coming up. Let's go all the way out to Sangertown, SWL number 9, Dirt Dog. Proxy on the Dirt Dog, no problem. Also get a proxy for Mr. Ed as well. SWL 10, Chrissy, good to have you guys along from northern Idaho. The Dolphins are jumping. We have put... they spiked the punch with anchovies for the Dolphins tonight, so they should be happy. SWL 11, that, of course, is Mr. Cornbread, Dan, the X is in the square, and Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan wins. I kind of ran into the air chair here tonight, but I feel dapper. I probably look dapper, but I didn't get the double dapper check, so I think just by default, Dapper Dan is going to be number 1 on the list tonight. SWL 13, let's see if we can get a crossband check in for Mr. Cobra.
Good evening and all the SWLs.
I hear you out there sounding good. 13 is in live and direct on the crossband, and we've got you checked in. KB6GFD.
Thank you.
I didn't... Oh, you know what? Let me put up the audio link here. I did not check... The Orban is a way to check audio levels comparatively between all the sources and stuff like that. So I think I'm okay compared to the receiver coming in. I might turn that down, but we will try. That is for the SWL listening pleasure, so that we don't blast you out of the building here. Let's go back to Sangertown, SWL 14.
Hey, good evening, Dennis. SWL 14 checking in, and a great signal on you tonight.
All right, well, that is good. Thanks for having a good receiver, and I might have an extra watt or two. I think we're up to 5 watts DC input now, so thanks. Next, we go to where it is tomorrow. Well, not for them. For them, it's today, but for us, it's tomorrow. SWL 15, hello, Hans, out in Copenhagen. Somewhere, maybe it's too early. Maybe we haven't beaconed over there yet. SWL 16, right behind the monitor. Hello, Charlie. Looking good. Thanks for all the help getting things up and running here. So far, so good. Don't smell any smoke. It was 81. It was 81 here today. So the net control air chair is a little bit on the warm side. We got the fans going, so I'm keeping my eye on the temperature controls to make sure we don't overheat. Hoping not to, anyway. I think I heard this gentleman earlier. I hope he is still there. SWL 17, over. All right, I hear 17. You know, when I heard you earlier, you were a lot louder, so maybe you were mobile, but I'm putting the X in the square. As you mentioned previously, the orange furniture, the sizzling sausage, and the boom, boom, boom. 17's got the X over. Good deal. All right, well, it's coming and going. Maybe the antenna is working better, but I do hear you. Not super loud, but we've got kind of a quiet frequency tonight. The skip that was 20 over about an hour ago is no longer around, so maybe we'll get the good kind. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, who said that? It is definitely the last day of February. Somebody says, I understand you can use a handheld ham or CB mic while driving, unlike a smartphone, which is illegal. Yeah, I think they made a rule for that. That was long ago, so if they've changed it, I'm not sure. But I think you can probably get out of it. Just don't do the double headphone. You cannot have headphoniums on that cover both of your ears. I'm pretty sure that's the deal. SWL 18, Mr. KDA might be listening from afar or checking in on Facebook, which is where I saw him. I put the X in the square. SWL 19 from beautiful. I think it logs you in correctly now. Yeah, you're right there in the front where you should be out of Angola, with an X in the square on the cue cards, looking good. All they have to do is follow along, and we will have a good time here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, Chet. SWL 20.
Number 20 here. Check me in. 29 and 54, and I'll have a radio of interest. This one tonight.
Sounds good. Good audio. I'll be looking forward to see the radio of interest coming up tonight. You are sounding good, and so get the snack and hurry on back.
You know me now. That's right. I'm going to go get something to eat. Catch you after a while.
Indeed. All right. Now, let's say, somebody mentioned the S meter. I think I'm on, I can't even see it. I think I'm on SWR. I'm monitoring SWR. power is low. There's the, I guess I could put that. That's the power meter. So we'll leave it on that. So that'll be looking at the power output. I could put current or something else. So as long as the SWR is 0, that's a good thing. So at least, yeah, that's good. At least I know I'm transmitting. Or something like that. Let's go over to SWL 21. I am totally unprepared for this. He should be on one of my video windows here. Hold on a second. I'll got to find that. Okay, I don't know why the computer is so slow. This should be 21. I got to pull some audio up. I don't know if he's listening in. Dang. Listening in or not. Bringing up the audio. Oh, yeah, he's listening in. There's the test. We're going to put the video up on the screen. Yeah, I hear you now. So I'm listening.
Better than him.
I'm listening.
Say and do anything.
Oh, wow, he's really delayed.
For me, I want to come and find out.
All right, we're standing by.
You know.
Standing by for 21. We're delayed about 30 seconds here.
No, actually, it's a Cadillac.
Should be getting close. They're on channel 17. We're on channel 11. He's got it on the phone thing. I see you guys. He needs to refresh that browser. Yes. I'm listening. Follow along on the YouTube video. Here we go. This is how they did it in the old days. All right, here we go. So he's on the vintage Cobra 29. I like that speaker. He's got the whole setup. He's got good stuff. Unlike me here at the Old Tube Radio Network. Oh yeah, your turn 21.
I guess we're getting on there, Jed. I'm looking at him. I'm waiting on him to do something over there.
Got a 30-second delay.
21 checking in.
183? Who else?
What's going on with that?
Yeah, you're good. Somebody let him know he's delayed by 30 seconds. All right, we got it.
I don't know if we're on there or not.
Yeah, when you see the replay.
I'm looking at him, but I can't tell what he's doing.
Yeah, when you see the replay in 45 seconds, you're on.
When we checked in, I don't know.
Yeah. Is this any way to run a radio?
Oh, yeah.
You called, bro. You behind. You gotta be behind. You lagging.
All right, hey, I didn't know. All right, well, anyway, SWL 21 in South Carolina, the Wasamaw Swamp, sometimes with the world's longest ground rod.
Yes.
I'm standing by.
All right, we got you.
183 South Carolina checking in.
All right, take 2 is good.
We're way behind, Jed. You have to watch me there, Jed. All right, I'm see you later.
All right, thanks, guys. See you later. We got it. All right, back to reality here on the West Coast, the old Tube Radio Network. Where'd we leave off? SWL 22. Boy, now my computer, now everything's working slow. SWL 23, where's Mr. Skidoo? He's probably out with Espresso Trucking Company doing something. 24 checked in early. Let's go way out to SWL 25, hello radio. Probably get a proxy for 25 and 74 tonight. Let's go to SWL 26. SWL 27. Might be a little warm for Dwayne to be in Studio G tonight. Got to turn the page. SWL 28, Gary, what is happening up in Sacramento? I bet you guys had a nice day today. DK1EY, Delta Kilowatt 1, Echo Yankee. Where are we located? We are in Central California. So none of the SDRs will work. There's a Kiwi SDR that's in Madera, right in the center of the state. You might hear us, but that SDR is really, really awful. So probably no luck listening in on the SDRs. That's going to be your closest one. The other ones are all in San Francisco and LA and Sacramento, and they're about 150 miles away. They don't work. Well, they work, but they don't work for picking up this signal. All right, Gary, I see you.
Thank you, yeah.
28's checking in, 73 today. Barbecue ribs in the green room with potato salad and baked beans. Two things I don't like. There's more for everybody else. We are running out, but I will put you a plate aside. No, give it to somebody else. They can have my share for sure. Who is the break for OTR? Over.
Hello, Dennis. SWL 223. Do you copy me?
Yeah, I copy you. Great. You're sounding good. Over.
Okay, very good. I will continue setting up some radios of interest.
Okay, yeah, big signal. No problem. If you're listening to the audio replay, you should hear and sound quite good. And I should be a little bit stronger, too, wherever you might be. So, all right, we'll look for you in a little bit.
Okay. I'm mobile, so I don't have the YouTube or whatever to listen to. So just checking in. I'll start setting up.
All right, great. All right, good stuff. Sounding good. The old Tube Radio Network. Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark. Direct and net roll call. Yeah, you don't have to have any numbers to get in here. Join us, and we'll get you. There's various modes to join in. You might even be watching us a year from now. I don't know, because the YouTube archives are up and running. 29's got a proxy check in. SWL 30. I know Dwayne is listening tonight. He's waiting for some skip to come in. The numbers weren't too good. I was looking at the Sunspot numbers. They were down below 50. Bands were kind of okay, sans mediocre, although we did have a lot of skip coming in. Let's go to SWL 31. Robert and Teresa, they might have scrolled off my screen. I will give them a proxy, and then I will check to see what is going on. SWL 32. Oh, I don't know why my computer is so slow. There we go. And Rob is in. Let me see. I've got an image, and I really like what you put up. So I'm going to put it up at the .net. I'll put it up here right now, see if it shows up. And it's very handy. Back, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago, when was it? When, there it is. Let me see if I can get a larger page for it. Yeah, the 60-meter band plan for ham stuff, and you really do need a chart to follow along, because there's restrictions on frequency, there's restrictions on mode, there's restrictions on power, there's restrictions on bandwidth. We're like the second in line on those frequencies. So once you get all that down, it's not a bad band. It's kind of in between everything. Probably should be good right now at this time of night. So I think 40 meters is in and 75 is in, but good contacts on that, and thanks for the chart, because I always forget. But you've got all sorts of restrictions, so you gotta play safe when you're up on the 60-meter band. But like Rob was saying, it works out pretty good. I think you getting international DX type contacts. Cornfred says he stays away from 60. Maybe 59 or 61 is okay. Back to the SWLs, if the computer will work. Thank you, Rob. We got you checked in. SWL 33, that's, of course, myself and anybody else that would like to get checked in that's hanging around the studios here this evening. SWL 34, getting Jimmy and friends checked in. Railroader, Captain Chaos, out there in Batavia. And Bill says, FCC suspended the new rules for current license holders. What does that mean? Did grandfathered in? If the new rules only apply to new people? Or maybe it was too confusing if they haven't put them in yet, but they're ready, I guess. SWL 35. I'll get to see if Mr. Bill is checking in from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Oh, Rob, the video is blurry and buffering. Well, my camera's not that great, so it's always kind of blurry. So hopefully it's nothing I'm doing here. I don't know. I'll give it a proxy check-in for Mr. Bill. Let's go to SWL 36. I think the Echo link is... yeah, okay, my Echo link is working. I see Tony's up there. SWL 37 checked in early, or earlier, I should say. And 36, did you make it in, Ken? 111. I'm checking my items here. And thank you, Wild Turkey. Yeah, that was a big delay. Normally it's not 30 or 45 seconds, so it's kind of a replay of a replay, but it worked out okay. You know, 21, JT is a consummate professional when it comes to radio and video and putting all that together, unlike myself. And thank you, Aaron, for the video update. Let's check in with Sammy out there in Byron, SWL 38. No conditions. Okay, there's Ken, 36. I see you checking in. I figured you'd be out there. Got some slow internet at certain places tonight. SWL 39. SWL 40. I will give Larry a check-in because he was in earlier helping us test. And there's 38. I see you, Sam. Then over to SWL 41. Thank you. Orange County React, of course, out of the Hudson Valley, New York. Road Dog 507. Thanks for staying up late on a Saturday night and getting checked in. SWL 42.
Good evening, Dennis, and all the listeners. 42 and the Radio Wiper crew here and accounted for. Back to net.
Back to the nut at the net. Looking good, sounding good. Looking forward. If you've got some radios tonight, we will check them in and look for them on Radio Lifer. Thanks. SWL 43. SWL 44. You might even be able to hear me tonight. I was out of the air chair. I did not check into the Ditchbanks sideband net last night. I think it was on. So we'll have to get an update if Ron is out there. See what's going on. Oh, you were on. Okay, good. Yeah, I was not on the air chair, so I missed the festivities. Let's go to say hello to Paul and Kelly, SWL 45 up in North Fork. We've got an X in the square for you guys tonight. SWL 46. I'm going to roll my, oops, trying not to break things. Roll my chat screen back up. Okay, it was Okie Outrider, the S2 Outrider from Northwest Oklahoma. Don't have a number to check in. Well, you don't need one. So good thing. I missed some of the chat because we have that extended chat window going on. Wild Turkey was in. UDX 104, UDX 3030. Felix 91. I'll make sure I'll get you, Felix. I see you in there. There's SWL 31. Robert and Teresa. I'll make sure that's the big X in the square. Matambale knows me well. Says Dennis in the green room chatting up the pretty ladies. When they notice, you know, they can smell a mud duck a mile away. So I got to be careful. Moon pies. Do they have moon pies there tonight? I think they do. I see 79. Phil, I'll get you. I'll see you in there. Somebody said, tell us about last week. What happens in KC stays in KC. But I already spilled the beans on that one. Okay, I think I'm up to date. Private Thor and the guys out of BC. The conditions weren't that great up that way today. I was trying to do a couple of SDR encounters, and nothing sound too good. All right, back to the roll call. We're looking for SWL 47.
Well, good evening from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
And you are sounding good. I talked to John, K6MI, and I let him know. Very exciting. When I was in Kansas City, I saw the second episode of Harry Potter which is insignificant into this conversation here. But below the big screen in the really nice theater there was I guess it was a Kansas City Philharmonic live doing the Johnny Williams, I guess that's who it is, Johnny Williams soundtrack live to the movie. I can't imagine how hard that must be. But anyway, it was exciting and I enjoyed it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, that's a real income generator for orchestras. I don't know how deep you want to go into this one. There was something, I don't know what it was, Lord of the Rings, maybe San Francisco Symphony doing it probably about now. As a matter of fact, if it hasn't happened within the past couple of weeks, it's coming up soon. And I think I saw tickets for like $400 a seat, and that's a little bit on the steep side. But the films with live orchestras do make money, and please do support your local orchestras.
Yeah, they were good. Sometimes you'd forget, and you'd go down and look down, and there'd be a spot where there's no just dialogue, and they're taking a break, and then there's we got a chase scene, and people are riding around on broomsticks or whatever they do on that movie, and it's like, oh man, everybody is working overtime down in the pit. So it was fun.
Yeah, good for you for doing it. I think last time I did that, I took my son up to go watch Empire Strikes Back with his San Francisco Symphony. It was spectacular. With the exception of perhaps one percussionist that dropped something in the middle of the show. But it was, like I said, it was just absolutely wonderful.
Indeed. All right, got you checked in. You are sounding good, and the X is in the square. Tim Snow, 82 Galveston, hello to you. Who else stopped by? Greg checking in the next 2 weeks. Who paid $7 for a moon pie? Should be 2 in that box. I see you, Neil. Let me get you checked in now in case you have to go away. SWL 147 out in Kakalaki. Spring is here. It's here also in Central California. Mid-60s today, 80s later this week. It was 80 today, so we're sending it your way. Decent conditions to UK in the morning. Okay, I wasn't on in the morning, so I don't know, but conditions were so-so up on 10. Lots of Midwest Montana, Colorado, and some West Coast. Thank you, Dr. Jazz. You are looking good. SWL 48, Sammy, if you're out there, I saw you on Facebook, so I'll get you your X in the square. SWL 49. And Rosie, where it's tomorrow, right? 88 and sunny in Emu Park. Are there emus? This is a question. Are there emus in Emu Park? And if there are, is that a good thing? Summer, the end of summer, all right? Somebody said get a proxy for 49 Sweet Country Mama. Smitty will do that. Let's see if Battle Creek, Michigan is in SWL 50. Hello, radio. I know some stations are having a lot of lag time on the audio tonight, and I checked earlier, and there wasn't a lot, so I guess it depends on where you're at and what you're doing. SWL 51.
SWL 51 checking in.
All right, sounding good out in Sangertown. I was doing testing earlier, but it didn't hear you on the test frequency, but you sound good now.
All right, Dennis, I think I heard you earlier. Yeah, I was busy. Anyways, you have a good evening.
All right, heard me talking to nobody. Got you checked in. Or maybe talking to everybody, as the case may be. SWL 52, I'll get you checked in unless you're still there.
Yes, sir. SWL 52 is here behind the golden microphone. I have all the Harry Potter movies on Blu-ray. If you ever want to borrow them, I do not have them on Laserdisc. We'll have to rectify that. And with the audio delay thing on YouTube, as somebody else that runs a YouTube channel, I have found that the speed of people's internet connections and computers kind of comes into play, but also sometimes you just have to force the player to go back to live. So sometimes when you join a live stream, it'll put you like 20, 30 seconds behind, but if you force it up to live, then you're only 4 or 5 seconds behind. So I know here on my iPad here where I monitor the BozoNet stream, I just have to tap it and hit the live button, and it takes me as far forward as possible, because of course we can't view the video into the future past what it has already occurred. So things start getting really timey-wimey.
Okay, and I didn't think of that. Thanks, Rob, mentioning, because we've got a YouTube video and a YouTube audio, I think, going on the .net page. So you probably got to listen to one or the other. It'd drive you nuts if they're both up, because we don't have the IceCast anymore. So, all right, well, it are what it are. For those of us who are live and direct like yourself, it seems to work, and we're still kind of inventing the thing as we go along here. And I had never seen a Harry Potter movie until 2 weeks ago. It was my homework. So you got to see at least the first one so you know what's going on when you see the second one. So I did that, and I've got 1 and 2. That might be enough for me, but it's fun stuff. Thanks for checking it.
Yeah, just a heads up, there's like 8 movies, so you got to block out your calendar. We'll catch you later, Dennis.
All right, thanks. Sounding good, by the way. Sounding good on the two-way radio. Thanks. The Old Tube Radio Network is what you are listening to. My name is Dennis, one of the net controllers to sit in the air chair. We are here to promote the use and distribute information about the Class D 11-meter CB radios back in the day when there was glow-in-the-dark valves inside those radios in 1958 through about 1978, and all sorts of other stuff as well. That's what we're working up to tonight when we sit back, and the parade of radios, hopefully, will stream by your microphonium. Let's go to SWL 53.
53 checking in there, Dennis.
Mr. Belair, you're sounding good. I heard you talking to the mini-grass earlier.
Yeah, 10-4, yeah. Sometimes I get lucky on this barefooted mobile there, 10-4.
You know what it is when you're at the coast of California talking to those guys with their antennas in the water and the mini-grass. Thanks. You're checked in.
Thank you there, Dennis. Good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah, indeed. There ain't nothing prettier than that orange glow on the tubes. Some of them will glow really orange. That might not be pretty. Some of them glow blue. I used to have a blue tube in my Regency Imperial. I think it was the audio tube. Somebody said that was a bad thing. It's like, it's got gas. Oh, no. Let's go to SWL 54. We got a proxy for Mr. Boardjammer, SWL 55. Just for kicks, possibly, SWL 56.
Yes, I am here.
You are there, and you are here and there, and the X is in the square over.
There you go.
All right, sounding good as always. Let's see. This is, Phil, this is like the one net that you don't have to be there right at the beginning, unless you're 00 because of alphabetical orderness, so good deal. We'll fix that. We'll fix that in 2026. We'll get you. So you have to be here on time. Well, you're always on time, but you have to be here at the beginning. make you 00. I think you were in the running this week, this one. Let's go to SWL 57.
Break OTR.
Roaming Base 73. Hello, Dennis, and hello to you. Private Thor, hello to you. And the break OTR, go ahead.
Yeah, SWL 40 with a late, but never missing. Check it.
All right. I figured you were around, or you were, watching the fire, or whatever excitement is going on over there.
Yeah, which fire are you referring to? There's many down here.
There's many from which to choose. All right. Well, hopefully there's none near the radio where you're at, so that's good.
Only my antenna. Over.
As they say, putting fire to the wire. All right. Well, you're checked in. You can let things cool down. All right, back to, where are we at? Page 3. So we went to SWL 58. That's Jeremy. I'll get a proxy for him. I didn't see 57. SWL 59. The 5 and the 9. How about SWL 60?
Hey, Dennis. Welcome back here to the valley, the hot valley, I should say. SWL 60, checking in.
Yeah, today was crazy. It made me get out on the flora and the fauna and get rid of all those things that are growing in the wrong spot. So I'll do more of that tomorrow. You are sounding good.
We thank you much. I tell you, you're smoking down here. You're breaking my needle.
This is the needle breaking frequency. Hopefully, I'll be easy. I'll try to whisper, and that'll help. Thanks.
Thank you.
SWL 61 Dino checked in at the beginning of the net, and I wanted to say hello to Evil Knievel from Chicago, waving. Well, Evil is here. Let me go. We've got some great shots that he's put in. There's a couple I haven't put in yet. I think, is this one of yours? Yeah. Let me put it up while you're here, because I always like this radio, and there's a reason for that. And we have had them check in. It's the Miratel. Let me see if I get a better shot of it. Yeah, the Miratel. It has that upside down meter, right? The needle's coming from the top, and does it swing the other way? Anyway, a cool. I think Paul used to check one of those. But there it is. Good stuff. And check out the pictures there. Thanks, Evil Knievel, with a great collection. Not only transceivers, but receivers as well, out of Chicago. So thanks. I'm glad we've got some way to link up the pictures now and make all that work better. Thanks to Frodex, who's been working overtime for the last month trying to make all this stuff work. And me, who's been working the last month trying not to break it all. Back to directed net roll call. We will never get to the radios. SWL 62. SWL 63. SWL 64. SWL 65. Shortwave listener 66. SWL 67. And Bill, I hope there is an actual way to get into the chat, I think, on that other window. Because Facebook, they stopped the link. We can't do that anymore. Not because we don't want to, it's because Facebook stopped the link ups. So we tried to do a workaround where you can, at least if you go to the .net page, you can jump in there and maybe it will show up. So give that a try if you're listening to the audio. I will get you checked in. 67. SWL 68. Shortwave listener 69. Kenny checked in earlier. He was on the link. In fact, we have a pre-show audio that happens. I was chatting with Kenny during the pre-show. He says, say hello to everybody out here. Kenny used to be in these here parts checking in radios live. You can still do it kind of not so live. Let's go up the hill, SWL 70. Mark's up in Morgan Canyon. And Stan, SWL 71. Also, he normally checks into the .net page, so hopefully you have a way of linking in as well. One Space Ghost just listening in, looking up and say, I think I see the old Tube Radio Network beaconing through the room. Put up the clip lead and the receiver, you got it. What? No more weather band? What, do they all go digital? That's interesting. Let's go to SWL 72. SWL 73, talk to John on the crossband. Got a check-in for him. We've got a proxy check-in for Miss Julie, SWL 74. Over to SWL 75. Shortwave listener 76. SWL 77.
SWL 77 checking in, and just a reminder for everyone, the internet is a little slow. We are at war with Iran, and the internet is being hammered right now. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Thanks, Dennis.
Okay. Yeah, I knew something was up. All right, well, thanks for that. Well, here we are. We're doing what we do, like we always try to do. So, good deal. Sounding good. We'll find out more about that particular item of interest coming up in just a little bit. Thanks for checking in. SWL 78. That's Richard up there or down there in Wild Wildemar, where the weather is always nice. I got about 4 more screens to look at now. Let me say hello to our stations listening in. Worcester. I listen to the guys, the ham guys that actually are in Worcester, Mass, and they say it properly, not like these West Coast guys. So I apologize, but you got the front row seat tonight. You must have got the special tickets. Thanks. Squamish, BC, also. Well, you guys got special season passes, courtesy of the Old Tube Radio Network. Hello to Fresno, Angelo, New York, Waco, Texas, Calgary, Alberta. Thank you, Fresno, Squamish, BC, in there, up in the mezzanine, it looks like. Anoka, Minnesota, Lawrence, Kansas. Hello to Denver, Colorado, waiting for some skips from Fresno stations. Palm Harbor, Florida, out there in Foreland. Stockton. We don't see Stockton too much. Just remember down the road was my favorite place was Pollardville, out there north between Lodi, no longer. San Jose, I do know the way. And Carterville, Illinois, way up in the balcony. Join us. Now, they'll bring some food up to you guys. Just hit the little light on your seat, and they'll come up to you. Let's go to SWL 79. 79, I did see Mr. DC. He was on earlier, so excellent square for him. Got to turn the page. They're giving me the speed up. All right, I will do that. SWL 80. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show a shot of, and I think I have it here, the big red limo out there from the Bob and Steve show. Where is it? Here it is. The big red limo was running around a lot this month. They were doing some special freebies. There it is. They were doing some special freebies for OTR and Valentine's Day. And some other things as well. You know, when it's a short month, you've got to cram a lot of activity into the 28 days. So the big red limo, I think, is parked in its spot. It actually has the evening off tonight. But thanks to Bob and Steve. Remember the Bob and Steve show for big red limo. Let's go back to the roll call, where net controller says, I think I can. Let's go to SWL 81. SWL 82.
Hey, good evening. SWL 82 from the Ditch Banks of Biola checking in. And sounding good tonight, Dennis. Good signal. And on the big red limo, I didn't see any CB antennas on it. Kind of disappointed.
They might have some magnetop on that thing, you know, or they've got like a little wire going around. I don't know. I will have to talk to them, but They never seem to have any problem finding the Espresso Trucking Company and bringing them in here. You're sounding good. Good to have you back in the air chair. Sorry I missed last night, but I think I'll make it. The second Fridays are our concerts now, but I should be able to check in. Did you guys get any skip last night?
No, we didn't. It died down, but I'm sure when the time change comes, we're going to get it. Because an hour before that, I heard Australia, so we're going to get it.
Yeah, it's going to put it right up to the end of, or the beginning of the roll call. But it was the typical 20 over, and then it goes away. All right, sounding good. Glad to have you back, and thanks for checking in.
All right, thanks. Yeah, you're right about the limo. I bet you it has one of those motor mouth mall antennas. He's got some of that stuff wound into the top of one of his Army pickup or something. So I bet you that's what they got there on the red limo. All right, Dennis, take care.
Thanks. And Wooster, I used to talk to somebody as in Wooster. He's one of the audio guys back 20 years ago. Wooster. I'm not even saying it right. Thanks, Ron. Oh, that's the voice. I'm neglecting to do the promo here. That's the voice of the Ditch Banks sideband net that you can tune into locally, and maybe not so locally if the skip is in on 36 lower. I think that's where it's at. 30. You see how soon we forget. 36 lower sideband, 8 o'clock at Pacific Daylight Time on Friday. Good decompression net for sideband. Ron does a good job. He's got a great receiver, and you don't have to have any number to get in. He will get you checked in the visitor side as well. Where is Skidoo? Skidoo for president. Where is Skidoo? I'm not sure what the hashtag is this week. Let's go back up to the 2-3 moniker and above my head and get Mr. Skidoo checked in. I knew if I started mentioning Espresso Trucking Company and showing the limousine that we'd start getting sweaty palms and say, no, they can't be here. Looking good. We featured your beautiful, out-of-the-box, museum-quality tram a couple of times this week on the big picture. Directed net roll call is where we're at, trying to get through here. Who's next? SWL 83, I see you. He put it on just in case we had some delay. SWL 83 checking in. Where did you go? Yeah. Out there in Jay-Z out there in Sylvania, Ohio. Thanks for some of the good pictures. We got some good Jay-Z pictures as well on our big image item. Oh, yeah. Did I show this one before? It was the I think I did. It was the Helicrafters. I think that's what it is. Helicrafters receiver. Let me see if it's it's there. I got the wrong. There it is. SX10. Yeah, we talked about that. That's the one that goes with, I think, the SX32. There was an SX11, pretty close to that. But I like the way it's all lit up. And that just looks good sitting there. Put about a 6-foot piece of green wire out of the back. Don't even need to put it outside, and you will hear something. And good stuff that was. Let's go to SWL. Oh, it's the quadruple here. SWL 84, 86, 87, and 88. That's the Cheerios Kid, Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. Over to SWL 89. SWL 90. Going faster than my little mouse will go. SWL 91. Felix was in earlier. I think I got you checked in, but we'll do it again. Radio. Nothing like a reset button. That's why we have our technical crew out there looking at the scope, saying, okay, what happened to that 10 dB over S9 signal? That should be better over. See, that control is not in front of my face. And there's no boo-boo sound that goes with that. So I must have got excited and had a 150% modulation peak or something. Felix has checked in. Over to SWL 92. I'm no longer doing the double trip. You know, the dual foot switch and all that stuff. No longer doing that. At least we've figured that out. So now it's just brute force causing it. Let's go to SWL 93. Boy, this is slow. Let me see. Somebody said get Leo checked in. I will do that. SWL 95. And yeah, we got some Echolink links up tonight. Do-over. Cornbread. Sometimes this whole thing is a do-over. Let's go to SWL 96. See, now you got me looking. You got me looking at the other screen all the time now. SWL 97. What's going on in Boston tonight? SWL 98. Tracy got an excellent square. I have not been on. I've been so busy and neglected to look at anything Facebook. So I bet I've got a promotional announcement that's probably super cool that I haven't seen yet. So I will be surprised when I get out of the air chair tonight. They always do a good job on that, by the way. Fun stuff. Always nice when we get free advertisement. Oh, well, if I could ever find the honking proboscis horn, maybe we could do that. I'm sure there's some little device like a light, special light, or maybe balloons coming down. I could use the foot switch for that. My goal is to just not break anything. SWL 99. I'm getting Radio Randy checked in. I caught him on 75 meters the other night, sounding good out of Arizona. Doing a good job. All right, let's go over to the Echo Link. I tested it earlier, so hopefully it's going to work. He said, hoping that it would work. Here's the Echo Link, KD4BAO. Hello, Tony. I think it's working. KB6GFD. Take a transmission over. I think we're working. Here we go.
Hey, good evening, Dennis. Hang on a minute. I'm a little low on audio. Good evening, Dennis.
Yeah.
Please check in SWL 100. Good to hear you. Back to net control.
Sounding good on the audio. Yeah, you've got the transmitter at 100%.
Signal is weak.
You got the transmitter at 100% modulation. Got the transmitter at 100% modulation, and all is working well on your end. Maybe not so on my end. Thanks for checking in, KB6GFD.
It's better. K6VON.
All right. I don't know what's happening now. Let's do another Echo Link because I see Albert is in there. KI6CBA. Hello, Al. KB6GFD. Take a transmission. We'll find out what's happening up in Sparks, Nevada.
Hello, radio and Dennis. Love to hear your show. I like the callers that are calling in.
Power dropped down again.
I feel someone coming in, but who knows? It might be a false alarm. But just looking forward to the radios and just best wishes and like to listen. Okay, over.
Get the right button here to get on the Echolink. All right. Well, good to have you. Good to have you along. Thanks for listening in. We've got some radios coming up shortly, so look forward to that. Thanks for stopping by. KB6GFD 73. All right. I may make a slight adjustment when we take the tubes. Coming up, let's go to 102. Waiting patiently. John out there in Scranton, Arkansas. Hello, 102. Hello to all the SWLs. Indeed, there are many out there, whether they're on the radio or digitally. Like I said, I lament that we don't have a close by SDR linked up on the internet. We might be working on that someday. Let's go to, thank you, John, SWL 103. I wonder if Joey's out there. I got to get used to all the different screens and the way the chat thing is working now. 76 tomorrow, liking that for sure. 73, good weather out there. All right, Joey, thanks. We put the official checked in thing. It's taken a long time for that to show up. There it goes. There it is. So it took a long time. Let's go to SWL 109, Mr. Crawdad. Somebody said give Crawdad a proxy. I will do that. SWL 110. Yeah, the delay is throwing me off. SWL 111. I think Robert checked in before the net, so I'll get him checked in. SWL 113. And the station here, who's listening in now and probably doesn't know that Indeed 114 is also 00. Over.
114 checking in.
Right, Wayne, you are sounding good. You are also 00, so I've already got you checked in because I knew you would be there. And so it's the 2 for 1 for the next 8 weeks. Thanks for joining us, and you've got an X in the square and an X in the square. Over.
All right, thank you for this check-in. Next week, I'll be there for 00.
All right, I said you are probably the one station that is as close to a million check-ins than anybody. So the law of averages. Thanks for checking in.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Catch you as 00 next week.
Roger. SWL 128. Got John in earlier. Made it into the chat room, chat area, whatever it is. SWL 131. Shortwave listener 135.
Hello there. Let's see, this is SWL 135 checking in.
Sounding good. I think you've got a radio for us tonight. And we'll be waiting for that. Sounding good.
Got a couple of them, if it's okay.
Oh, yeah. That is why we are here. I mean, I remember back in the day between Les, I keep breaking my microphone, Les and Fred and Paul, we could get 24 radios from 3 different people. So go for it. SWL 137. That's one thing. There's no limit. There's no limit on the amount of 2B style radios you can check in. And we've got a Echo Link. We'll pick that up in just a second. SWL 145. I'll get Tony checked in. I think he left us some questions, which I might try to get through. Well, I might do those because we're already behind, so I might do those during the check-in period because I want to get into the radios here. SWL 147, Neil checked in moments ago. Shortwave listener 188.
Evening time, Dennis. 188 checking in.
188, Mr. Snow Beast. We've got you checked in. X in the square, sounding good.
10-4, even time at all.
Thanks. Let's see. Who is just checking in? Martin, listening in on YouTube, where it's tomorrow morning. It's today where he's at. It's tomorrow for us. Checking in Mike Whiskey 0 in Swansea City. The type is really small, so I'm mispronouncing that in Wales, United Kingdom. Well, good stuff. We had, who else? We had a couple of Welsh stations checking in. Anyway, this is something we do every week, every Saturday evening here in the States, where we talk about and like old cars, right? We encourage people to stop by with their tube radios to fire up the valves, heat them up, take a transmission. We'll be doing that in a couple of minutes here after the roll call. So thanks for joining us. We're here on the West Coast, so we don't get a good chance. I'm not a big gun ham station, but if I were, I might be able to chat with you guys early in the morning, usually when it works. The guys out in the East Coast always have a good shot in getting into stations out there in the UK. It's fun stuff. Thanks for joining us. Let's go to SWL 195, who checked in earlier or before, but we'll put you in again. Over. SWL 223. Are you still there, Robert?
Hello, Dennis. See if you can copy me on this radio, SWL 223.
Yeah, sounds good. You're still good signal, so keep it warmed up. And then SWL 226. And then anybody else that I might have missed. Way down at the bottom of the page. Boy, this delay is wacky here tonight. Okay, I'm going to jump out of the air chair. I got a couple things to do. We will set up for the tube radios. I'm going to move the questions into the next segment because we are already behind a little bit. And I'm just glad that everything seems to be working on my end. So back in a moment. Take a break. We will return with the glow-in-the-dark radios on your old tube radio network. All right, we are back. Got to make an adjustment here. Let's see what things. All right, boys and girls, let's try this again.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you on
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Who says the jingle singers are on a smoke break? We don't do anything that has to do with smoke here. You could reference a YouTube video from, I don't know, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, where we did have a little bit of smoke in the background of the Old Tube Radio Network, which indeed this is. Hi, everybody, back in the air chair. It is the reason we are here, and that's to listen to you and the radio, so I can kind of sit back, relax, along with the shortwave listeners and find out what we got. So let me grab the proper controls and say you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Real radio's glowing in the dark, and we're looking for the radio check-ins.
5135.
Okay, I have 3. I will take them in the order that they were heard. So I heard 17, you will be radio number 3, so stand by. 135, you will be number 2 on the list, and 56, just for kicks. Hello, Phil, jumping into the air chair, and over it goes to you to find out where the microphonium is attached. Over.
Well, it is currently plugged into a Burstein Appleby, Bravo Alpha 23.
I know that well. I am looking into the Rolodex, and we have one there that just popped right in there. I don't believe it is a picture of the radio you are on, but it's a good representation. Let me see if I can get it in the proper. Yeah, let's try that. And there it is. An interesting radio. I've got a couple of comments to make on that, but it sounds good, and we'll go back to you for transmission. Over.
The website has a picture of my radio on it, at any rate. But yes, Burstein Appleby. Dennis, you probably know and probably could tell the story of Burstein Appleby better than I do. Anyway, this radio is crystal transmitter course and tunable receive. It's got an accessory socket for an external crystal. Other than that, it's just pretty much a basic no frills.
Yeah, they were like Lafayette Electronics, even more so, because I think they sold a lot of, parts, component parts. The catalogs back in the, 50s, 60s, and 70s were hundreds of pages long. And you are right. Actually, the picture that we have is your radio from the good old B.A. Burstein Appleby, and I do have some information that we will pass along. And go back to my shot of the radio here, which I hope is, that is. I think that's a clone of an Olson, like a Spotter or Spotter 2, because it's got that dual channel selector. And it could have been like Sears did with E.F. Johnson. I think Burstein Appleby did with Olson. So it's a decent radio. Not too many of them around. Is everything still working? Does the meter function and all of that?
Oh yes, Sal. The radio works just fine. Well, you'd be the better judge of that. But sitting here, everything seems to work. There is a switch just to the. As the operator looks at the radio just to the left, that functions the meter. It can either be for modulation or signal strength. And as I speak, I can see it wiggling around in the modulation mode. Over.
Yeah, nice and good audio. I think those had, and somewhat of the Olsons had a little bit of suppressed carrier. I've got the close-up screen, you can see the two dials, one for the transmit frequency, one for the tuning frequency, of course, variable. Looks like it has an external crystal socket for that tune. So that should be a 23-channel transmit, right?
Yes, 23 channel, and with the option of having I guess a 24th channel.
Yeah, I see the spotter switch on off there and the nice little front fire speaker. Doing a good job. Before we go, let me see if I can find my info on Burstein Appleby, the BA logo, which I don't have up, or do I? It's on. Actually, it's actually on the speaker. Let me give a extreme close-up of that. What we're talking about. There it is. That BA logo right centered up in the speaker. Boy, everything is slow tonight. The BA logo was designed for use by Burstein Appleby Electronics, a large parts and electronics store in Kansas City, Missouri. I was just there. I didn't know. I could have searched out and looked through the boarded up windows. At one time, 39 other locations. It appeared in many old ads. It remains the property of the Applestein family, believe it or not. According to former chief technician and Denver regional service manager Tom Daly, W0EAJ, 4 former employees, including 2 Applebee's, now work for the electronics supply company in Kansas City. The last known address of Burstein Appleby Company was 3199 Mercier Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Dang, I was just there. I would have taken a picture. However, according to Tom, the most famous address was the 1012 McGee Street building, which had this famous logo on the side even after the company moved in 1976. So they were around pretty much about the same time Lafayette was. I think 76 is when they closed their doors. The building was finally torn down for a parking lot. Take Paradise and put up a parking lot around 1995. BA itself went out of business for the usual reasons in 1979 or 1980. A little bit more, Joe Burstein and Merle Appleby. It's the Joe and Merle show. Started their business from the trunk of a car. Isn't that the way the best businesses start? Many. Some bad businesses start out of the trunk of a car as well, but this was a good one. They moved into the basement of a drugstore and eventually built a corporation with over 39 stores. Not bad. Their slogan was everything in electronics. And it was another one of those big parts and equipment houses, like, for example, Allied Radio and others, electronics for everyone, I think. Anyway, that was a sign of the golden age of do-it-yourself hi-fi radio experimentation. Thanks to Burstein Appleby, a lot of people can do that. So a nice piece of history, nice radio. Back to you, Phil, for another transmission on the BA-23. We haven't heard in a while, and it sounds marvelous.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I think you did a very good description of the company and the company's history. I believe, if I recall correctly, I believe reading something about it started in 1927 selling electronics out of the trunk of their car.
Indeed, it was Merle. Oh, I already forgot their name. Joe and Merle, Burstein and Appleby, doing their thing from the trunk of a car and moving to the basement, and then eventually 39 stores. And who would have thunk? Here we are, way into the 21st century. And it's still going strong 100 years later, thanks to yourself and the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for stopping by. Radio number 1, the ever-popular Burstein Appleby BA-23, which I believe was, if you look inside, probably an Olson Spotter or Spotter 2 chassis. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis.
The Old Tube Radio Network. Let's keep moving along. The Jingle Singers might still be on their smoke break, but we won't let them know that we're just going to keep happening here. Radio number 2, 135. That's Mr. Green Arrow in the air chair tonight. Cliff, take a transmission. What have you got over?
Well, for one, I did just send you a couple of minutes ago a new extra dark picture of the setup here tonight. Out here in the CB Cabana for that late night ambience kind of thing. This here is a radio from Winnisquam, New Hampshire. This is the Tram Titan 2A. And let's see, it's 23 crystal controlled transmit channels and VFO receive. Oh yeah, I've got a newer one than that. If you look for it, let's see. There are 15 tubes in this thing, believe it or not, because it's got sideband, upper and lower sideband, which I think is technically double sideband. And then the microphone is an unamplified D104 gray bass, which I think is just like the kind that were actually issued with these radios. Back to you.
Has the great Tram audio, has that look of, and we're on shot number 2. I'll rustle up the new one. This was late afternoon. The lights have come on the radios. Still looking good. Looks like some good stereo gear in the 1970s. Has great punchy audio and double sideband. Yeah, see, double sideband was kind of a thing. Regency had it. The Tram Titan 2 had it. And what you're telling me is it's probably the same on the 2A. Over.
I'm not sure. Could you say that one more time?
Yeah, I'm saying the Tram Titan 2 also had double sideband, and you're saying the 2A is also sideband capable. Is that correct?
Yeah, but like it's on the unit here, and you're right. It looks for all the world like a 1970s piece of stereo gear. It really does. But the selector does show a separate lower sideband, upper sideband, and AM. But, oh yeah, there's the shot. There's a delay here, I think in the manual here it does state that it is like a double sideband. So I'm not sure exactly how that all works. So no matter which sideband I've selected, it's still going to be putting out both sidebands, or how does that work?
Well, the way it would work, you're dialing in your receive. Your transmit, when it's on any sideband, is always going to be double. It's going to be de-inserting the carrier, if that's a word. But your receive is going to be listening to lower side, or your receive is going to be listening to the upper side, depending on where you have that switch. Transmit-wise, it's on both. So that's the thing. If somebody says, let's go to lower side, you put to LSB because you got to hear them. But they're going to be on lower side and they're going to hear you, but so can the guy on upper. So that's probably the way it works. DSB AM on the transmit, but selectable on the receive over.
Okay, that all makes sense now. Yeah, I was always curious about that. So it is receiving single sideband. There's various adjusters for that. There's a large fine-tune knob for both transmit and receive. And of course a spotter switch. But yeah, I wasn't sure what because they do talk about it in the manual that it is a something double sideband. I can't remember what it is now. But anywho, this radio is spoken for. It is going to go away at some point here, and I just wanted to play with it again because I really like this radio. As you can see from the pictures, it's really neat and it's a lot of fun. The transmit modulation light is blinking with my modulation. I did mention that this is an unamplified D104. It might sound a lot better with an amplified D104. And this is one of those radios, if you got the volume cranked up a bit high, your signal also flashes the modulation light. And oh yes, I forgot, your signal report, sir, on this is just ever so shy of 60 over. It's full scale, full quieting. Back to you.
I love the full scale, full quieting. Yeah, it's probably the double sideband suppressed carrier AM. I've got the S meter up simultaneously, and I had it on full direct. You can see a lot of good forward modulation. It is really sharp, crisp, punchy audio. I don't think an amplified microphone would, amplified D104 would do well with that. It'd probably make it way too harsh. Something like a Shure 444 might be interesting to see if it tones it down a bit, but it's got loud audio. And no problems there. I haven't been looking at the comments on the live stream, but yeah, there's one. It sounds beautiful with suppressed carrier. Got a good glow to it. Yeah, AM, we're listening to upper and lower sideband at the same time. My internet is really behind, so I don't want to watch that. So it is a good deal. It is sounding good. Probably its last voyage here locally, but we've got it on tape. We've got it in the archives. So go back to you one more time. I think we went through. It's got a lot of controls on it. I'm going to do a close-up on the bottom. I've got the daytime picture up, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that you receive, 5, 6, 7, a knob, and then the separate transmit and receive. Sort of like the BA-23, but a little bit different. Cool radio, over.
It really is. I really like this radio, which of course is why I got it in the first place. Yeah, the frequency adjustments there, the double knob you see there in the middle, just below the spot switch, that's the one I was talking about. The large one is for your receive. If you want a little finer control, I think it says it does 600 up and down, according to the manual, to stay, within the limits. But the small knob is your transmit, also I think 600 up and down. And according to my freaky meter, I should be like almost smack on, as well as I can adjust it. You want to give me a quick freaky check to see if I dialed it in right?
Yeah, in fact, come on back. I will do that. Let me make sure I've got the right button pressed. 23 is good deal. And this is a good thing. It says if you don't like the D104 with it, a 10DA head on a G stand will roll off some of the highs. But, this is a good DX sounding radio. Go ahead and take a transmission. We'll do the zero beat, see where we're at.
Okay. Especially on sideband. I bet it'd sound pretty good on sideband with a slightly mellower mic. But haven't had a chance to try that out yet. This is the only mic wired up for it. It has a special, microphone plug-in jack for this particular tram. All my other trams, had the quarter-inch stereo, tip ring sleeve business on it. But this one, of course, has a special one, so I couldn't test it with the other mics. But it seemed to work okay, and thanks for letting me check it in.
Thanks for bringing it by. Boy, you are really, really close on frequency. I can pop between the upper and lower sideband at 85 even. I don't hear much difference. Aaron says maybe just a little high. He's on the SDR radio, but we're talking probably 10 cycles, 20 cycles, not much at all. So it's dead on frequently. And they give you the 600 slider, 600 or 700, because that was the FCC allotment of crystal being off frequency plus or minus 700, I think. So I think Browning gave you 700, Tram gave you 600 or 700 on the sliding frequency there to make the FCC or keep the FCC happy. Radio number 2, the Tram Titan 2A. I believe this was right at the beginning of the prices going up, the import radios coming in. So these usually went for about upper $400, $500 range in the time they were out. So nice radio, sounding good. Thanks for bringing it by. Over.
Okay, don't want to go over the knobs real quick?
Oh, yeah, let me go back to the, gotta find it, extreme. There we go. All right, I'm going to start over to the left. There's the, I guess that's the microphonium. What's next to the microphonium, over?
Okay, real quick, next to the right, you've got your RF gain. Obvious what that does. Then your on-off audio, your on-off volume. Then to the right of that, the squelch. And then the noise limiter. which is nice. That's on, off, and adjustable, and it really does the job. Like most of these, I just click it on and it gets rid of most of the problems. Then you've got your dual concentric knobs, fine tune, large one for receive, small one for transmit. Then, of course, your mode selector, lower sideband, upper sideband, AM. Then you have your multimeter happiness here. The selections there are number one on the left, going to the right. S meter, your power, RF power, your SWR calibrate, then of course the SWR, and then an internal load. And yeah, there's a big resistor in there that acts as your own personal dummy load while you're tuning things. So there it is. Once again, thanks for letting me check it in here one more time. One of my favorite radios. I hope it will be enjoyed on its next journey. See ya!
Okay. Oh, one last item. There's the knob. It's probably an adjuster for something that is above the mode selector knob, the small knob.
Oh, yeah, that's your SWR calibration. So you select SWR calibrate, which is pointing straight up, right? And straight up from there is a tiny knob, and that's what you do your calibration with.
Perfect. The Tram Titan 2A, a full flavor. If you wanted sideband back in the day, the Regencies, the Trams, the Invasions from Yaesu, the FT101s, and the Tempo 2020s, and all the Siltronics radios coming up a little bit later that had sideband. So that was the thing coming up before the solid-state radios took over. One of the first ones, a beautiful radio. I think you could convince the XYL to bring this one into the living room. It doesn't have rack handles on it. It looks like stereo gear. Maybe you could even say it was stereo gear. Tram Titan 2A. Thanks, Cliff. It's on the archives. We'll watch it in perpetuity.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one more quick thing. It does have the Collins mechanical filter on board on top of the chassis there, which gives it nice, tight receive. And that's it. See ya.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I think all the trams, starting with maybe the TR-27 had a Collins mechanical filter, which added to that was not a cheap little thing to put in there, so that added to some of the premium price on that. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. Thanks for joining us on episode. I don't know what episode this is at the Old Tube Radio Network. And we will continue on. Radio number 3 standing by. And I was hearing you pretty good, Eric. So take a transmission quickly at the beginning. Make sure we're working. And we'll go back to you. Hello, 17.
Well, there's that long ping thanks to an old friend there, Harvey. Anyway, 17's here. What's going on?
You're sounding good. That's because you've got a good radio. Take a transmission and tell us about radio number 3. Over.
Well, for your listening pleasure, we have the R27 S23 from Browning with the on-air light glowing. And since I am antenna challenged, I do have a little bit of help with the 180 helper. Over.
Well, nice, because the picture I have, and this is from, I think it's from Joe, Yogi Bear, old SWL 58, and he indeed has that exact same setup. Let me get a little closer with the 180 amplifier. So you've got a stack. The receiver's on the bottom, transmitters on the left, and the 180 business band, right? We're doing some business here, so it's okay. Business band amplifier is on the side. I can't remember. I think that's just got one tube in it, but a good match for the radio. Nice ping. Not real screechy. It's a very melodious, mellifluous ping on that. So it did a good job. Back to you. And your signal is great.
Thank you, Dennis. Something I wanted to bring up. Seems like OTR is different from what it used to be back in the day. Everybody wanted to check in a bunch of radios. Now we're indulging in the intricacies and nuances of the the wonderful reason why we have these things on our shelf and enjoy firing up and talking on them once in a while. So anyway, this is the first Browning I ever came across on eBay, back when eBay was an item where you could actually get a reasonable deal. Anyway, I learned back, let's put a number on it. It's been about 20 years since I started listening and participating, and I want to thank you for the time and effort that you put in along the way, because you and started with number one. I remember a tribute to number one once. I think it was on his birthday, where we tried to check in as many radios as we could within the allotted slot of time. Anyway, Dennis, good times, good memories, and this radio always brings back all of those.
It does, and you're taking sort of what we're doing. Another thing that OTR tries to do is for the new stations coming along. Maybe you don't know. I mean, you tune on your CB radio and you hear what you hear, and you think, well, let's go back 50 or 60 years when these tube radios were new, and how it might have sounded at the time, how people would chat back and forth and would actually have a conversation, the sound of the radios before sort of modulation clippers, and the FCC said, we're going to put stuff in there so you can't be overly loud and put noisemakers, et cetera, et cetera. So for those of you who are newer, might be watching, listening, these radios were new in 1964, 65, 66, 67, et cetera, and what you're hearing, the way we're chatting, the demeanor of the stations is basically what would be happening back then, a cool time. And Eric, we have been doing this for 40 years, believe it or not. So I'm going to say, obviously, you go back much, much farther than that. I think you were one of the stations, if I remember, to do one of the first mobile radio check-ins. A lot of people think, these are big, heavy radios. But no, they have DC cords. And you might have been in the Jeep. I don't remember. But one of our first stations, Cliff always did a good job of going mobile. But you did as well with some of the E.F. Johnson. So we're proving to people that, you could, back in the day when you're supposed to have a base in a mobile radio, one of them had to be hooked to a 6-volt or 12-volt DC. And it did work that way. So, again, thanks for joining us all these years. We have a lot of stations who are silent keys that have moved on. So, in that 40 years, we used to be an hour longer. It wouldn't be surprising to have maybe 30 or 40 radios in the evening. And another thing, we started this before the YouTube and eBay, and what was the late 80s or 90s when eBay started up, and it was actually doable. That really opened up a lot of radios coming in here to the Old Tube Radio Network for decent prices, because you can only get so many radios at a yard sale, right? And the first, like you mentioned, the first YouTube, when somebody said, I just got this old radio, let me put it up for $15 or $20, we got a lot of radios back in the 90s from eBay, and kept us going strong that way. So appreciate anybody that can come back now and fire things up. It works really well. You are radio number 3, the Browning Eagle R27 S23. The business band amp is doing justice. Back to you for another transmission, and thanks for bringing it by.
Dennis, thanks. I appreciate the effort you put in, and all the years that you've been behind the golden microphone there. It's always fun, and it's. I played with these things back when I was a kid. I think the first time my brother pulled out an old loaf of bread radio, I might have been about 12 or 13 years old. And who knows, 30 years later, I'm out here playing around with old stuff that's half as old as I am. Anyway, I'm going to say 7-3, and thanks for doing what you do.
All right, well, this is my favorite time. I just kind of sit back and let the radios take over and do what they do. The Old Tube Radio Network, the Jingle Singers have come back from the green room, and I believe, the Jingle Singers have been with us pretty much the whole time, 35 or 40 years, and they still, what I like is they still know the words.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Sing to you, wherever you are, for music and the latest news from home and from afar. The station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
the station for you is
OTR.
20, 1017, 56.
All right, let me get my station back together. And we've got 3 more radios sounding good. 56, don't go away. You'll be Radio 6. 1017 will be in the number 5 position. And coming up next, Radio 4, it's Harvey from the West Side. That's how it's in my book. Go ahead.
Roger. Okay. What we've got here is a Metro Star. It's got 8 crystal-controlled transmit and receive channels, plus 23 tunable, squelch and a volume control. Switches are signal and PA for the meter, and then a crystal and a tunable switch. And no spot. How about that? 8 tubes, and it's got a hand mic. It's got a very, very ancient 2-transistor preamp in it. I mean, it's got old style caps in it and everything, but apparently it works. Anyway, I do have the modulator on. This is from the collection of Phil, and it's already got a home that it's going to. I'm just checking it out before it gets shipped off.
Well, believe it or not, it's been around long enough for us to have a photo of that radio in the files here in the Rolodex, Metrotech MetroStar from the collection of Phil. Looks pretty interesting. Sometimes on the Metrotechs, I always think, I don't have a picture of that, but this looks like your garden variety tube radio with the classic knobs and the metal cabinet, some switches, a light or two, some advertisement on the front, and it's good to go. And it sounds good, too. Nice and loud over.
Well, thank you. Well, it's probably due to the modulator. If Sean is still awake in Sanger, which I doubt, I have the modulator on for him. This and the realistic TRC 8D, basically identical. Slight differences. One difference is you have a straight-in hand mic, crystal or ceramic cartridge, with the realistic straight in going to the preamp, audio tube, etc. This one's got a actual 2-piece transistor amp circuit. The transistorized part is in the hand mic with a bunch of resistors and capacitors. Then in the radio right off the mic plug is a small circuit board with about 4 or 5, 2 resistors and 2 or 3 caps, ceramic caps, providing about 6 volts to the amp. So it's both in the mic and in the radio. The whole thing could be bypassed if the hand mic totally went out. You could bypass it inside and run a regular mic. Okay, that should be long enough for this. Oh, It does have an accessory socket on the back for external speakers. Something else that I don't know what it is. But you could put an external speaker on the back.
All right, caught me doing the zero beat at 27,084,350. So about 600 cycles to the south. The center frequency, obviously close enough on my 15 kc filter, I can't really tell. Sounding good. And we see it's got 8 channels. 23, let's go to the big one here. 23 tunable on the receive. It's got the Metrotech logo. And, you know, that S-meter almost reminds me of the one that's in the Regency. It's got the pointy needle and the black numbers on there. But anyway, looking good. Is that, you have a lighted S-meter on that?
No lighted S-meter. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Something interesting about the realistic one, where it says realistic, behind it, kind of, in the background, is an M for Metrotech, I guess, because it's obviously not a realistic logo, but kind of behind it, the realistic name is the M for Metrotech.
Yeah, that's kind of a... I always thought that M was a little mysteriously scary looking on the Metrotech. Looks like it's all the original knobs. Good deal. Crystal phone, PA signal. Do a PA on that. Probably got the 12AX7 in the audio chain just for that. Part 95, part 15 sounding good. Nice audio, by the way. Oh, do you want to take a transmission without the range boost? We'll see what happens.
Okay. Whoops. Okay. This is without the range boost. I am talking a little loud into the mic, but then that's me. I've got it at 08045. I know I'm a little different than you. I still have to go through crystals in this, and then it'll be shipped off. Well, it's local, so it'll be driven to its new home.
Nice. Boy, it sounds good without the range boost. Still loud. Even a little bit more, almost as much forward movement on the S-meter. Just, you know, it's parked at a different number. So it's just fine. No problem at all without the extra.
Okay. We'll leave it off for it. Well, I'll put it back on in a minute in case Sean's listening.
All right. Turn it back on. Make sure it still works. Then we've got... Dennis is standing by with Radio 5. We are talking to the Metrotech Metro Star. Indeed it is. Over to you.
There we go. Still working. Yeah, it's like a Timex. Still ticking. Yeah, I looked at the realistic, and right behind the R in realistic, it's kind of got a wavy form that kind of looks like somewhat of an M. Not really, but being that Metrotech probably designed it for Radio Shack, maybe they did that and kind of got away with it.
Well, back when they had enough manufacturers, you could do that. Now there's, 2 people making all the radios, so they might have a copyright thing. Sounding good for radio number 4. Nice audio. The microphone you got works well, and there's no buzzing or humming or anything when you put in the range boost, so not a problem. Thanks for bringing it by. Over.
Roger. Oh, it's got a below the meter. It's got a power on light, kind of orange neon, and then a transmit neon light. It's not a modulation light. It just turns on for transmit, right below the meter.
Yeah, I saw that in the close-up. It looked like there was a pilot light. I figured the red light was there, but then there was another one. So you got to know, when you're looking in the room, if the radio's on. Thanks for that. Wow, where does the time go? 10:17. It's got Radio 5, and don't go away, Phil. I know. Take that extra sip of coffee. We will be right with you. Anyway, hello, Dennis.
Good evening, number one, Dennis, and all the listeners. 1017 here with a Sonar Model H, which was produced in early 1962, and the earlier versions had twin relays and a push-pull anti-noise limiter.
Sonar, known for what's inside as well as what's outside. We should have a really good picture, a couple of good pictures of the Model H. Here we go. Put it in the queue here. And there it is. Might even be the radio you're talking on. And, when you come back, let me know. Are we doing a simulcast for the listeners in now, be able to look at the air chair at the same time, over?
Yes, sir, if you want to see the pilot, and also, of course, you would be in the control tower. So we are live, and they will get to see this. And this radio also has the famous Sonar call tone, which I can pull down right now. Which, for myself, sounds just like the old dial tone in Ma Bell telephones.
Sounds exactly like that, and it's 100% modulated. It's nice and loud. It really grabs your attention. It's a head turner because you think, wait a minute, where's that coming from? It's the radio. Also, I've got the radio up, the Model H, classic stuff from Sonar. We're actually seeing the Sonar. What did JT call it? Piece of toast or something microphone. The really huge element on there, which always helps with the audio. And a lot of the times, I think they have the 6AQ5s and the 12AX7s in there. Perfect audio, 8 channels. Take another transmission. I'll run a frequency check here.
All right. Yeah, this came from Cliff's collection, and we just brought it in, put the Variac on it, slowly brought it up to life. I haven't cleaned anything up or checked anything out. We just wanted to get her lit and get her out here and talk on her. We did have a non-amplified D104. Jerry did the mic plug and the adapter cord for it, so we could do the tip ring sleeve bit and use a non-amplified D104 on the radio.
I think that's a good choice. Sounds nice and loud. You're at 35 over, which is a big single. I don't know if it's possible to unrange boost it just for a test. It might not be possible. No big deal, because you're close enough. You'd probably still be 10 over. But nice audio, nice and loud. Sonars were sort of recognized for that. I'm not sure if this is one of the earlier models. The FS series, I think, were push-pull audio like the Regencies. This one maybe or maybe not, but it's nice and loud.
Yeah, I believe it is. There's no range boost. That is a little tiny, fits in the palm of your hand MOSFET, little range booster. That's just the radio, 3 watts swinging to about 9 watts right there.
Nice, still 20 over. If you listen to the playback, audio does sound better, a little bit cleaner on the audio, nice and clear. I had a feeling that it would do that. I just want to let people hear that, yes, the audio gets even better at 20 dB over S9. Radio Lifer with LIFERRRR is the place to go, and you can give the URL for that if you'd like to join 1017 in the air chair, in the cockpit, and see the radio and how it works that way after listening to it here. Good stuff. Back to you. Oh, I did the frequency check, and you're about 50 cycles low, so you're pretty much dead on. Over.
Oh, very good. All righty, and that Radio Lifer's YouTube and TikTok, and we sure appreciate everything you do, Dennis, and we appreciate all the SWLs out there, and we just can't wait to get out here every Saturday night. So we'll catch everybody later.
Thanks for stopping by the Old Tube Radio Network. That is why we are here. That is why we've been doing this for 40 years. A chance to get your rig on the air, a chance to share it with who might be tuning in, and maybe encourage somebody if they say, yeah, I'd like to start a collection, or as we mentioned before, just kind of see listen to what CB actually sounded like when you have a conversation that has more than the number one in it. Phil, thanks for standing by. Thanks for staying up late with us. We're going to Radio 6. Jingle Singers, we're going to put them on hold right now, but I want to see what kind of kicks we've got from 56. Hello, Phil.
Well, thank you, Dennis. We're kicking it with the Buddy TX11 Bravo and the Buddy TX11, I can't read without my glasses. Anyway, RC11B and the TX11B. Over.
Yeah, boy, that radios, all loud radios tonight. I'm going to have to turn off my noise blanker. That has so much high frequency accentuation on the audio. That's a good thing, that my noise blanker is not handling it. So the next go around, we will turn that off and do the thing. But to take a transmission, I got the meter up now and everything else. Go ahead.
Okay, Dennis. This is on low power and standby. And this is a transmission on high power. Over.
Wow. Okay. Sounds good both ways. I think the high power actually is a little bit cleaner. Usually it's just the opposite. It sounds like you are snapping a board or something when you key that microphone. There's just a nice little click. You are nice and loud. 10/9 here. You're getting Foxman 362. Richie does a lot of YouTube videos, and he knows a good radio when he hears it. He's giving you like 5 A+ on that one, so it's working good. Over.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Yeah, it's a loud radio, and it's got the separate speaker with the on-the-air red light glowing as I speak.
Got the let's see, the big picture here. Oh, there it is. So Browning had a transmitter receiver. On-the-air light was inside. Demco had the transmitter receiver. They had the modulator. I don't think you need a modulator on a Buddy bass. I don't have a tube complement. Some people modify them with the 6L6s. But cool thing about the Buddy bass, they had that nice on-the-air separate speaker. So probably gave you a little bit more room in the transmitter receiver section if you're working on things, and still looks pretty cool. Back when I think it was the battle, that 1960s battle of CB radio is supposed to be this, get a loaf of bread, dear, and I'll be home. And the manufacturers knew it wasn't. It was all amateur radio and more, but just on the Class D 11 meter citizen radio service. So this is one of the radios that collectors really like to get. I don't think they made a lot of them, but they were made to be loud talkers, which they are. Back to you.
Well, indeed so, Dennis. As the hour approaches, thank you very much, and we'll be listening for you next week as well.
All right, thanks. The Buddy bass, the RC11B receiver, the TX11B, the transmitter. I think Kevin had one of those. He did a lot of net controllers on the Buddy bass and the Brownings. So in good company. Thanks for radio number 6. Jingle Singers are ready, and then we'll go back and see if we've got any more radios before we sign out tonight on your Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. Your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
135.
All right, 2 stations, 135, stand by. We will go to you next. And who was the other station?
Low power, K6011.
All right, let me try that again with the proper power. 135, stand by. You'll be next. And who was the other breaking station?
17.
All right, 17. We'll get you in there, Eric, too. Radios are a good thing. We'll just keep going. And was there another station over?
Yeah, 223.
And 223, great. All right, we're going to get you in as well, Robert, so don't go away. Let's head over to Mr. Green Arrow. He's got radio number 7 tonight. Over.
Well, okay, I'll try to be quick with this one. First of all, is it making it there okay?
Oh, yeah, nice signal, nice audio. Over.
Okay, this is radio that is for sale. This is from Electronics Communications Incorporated, ECI. And I'm sure somewhere around there you do have a picture of this one. I've been checking it in for many, many years. This is the Courier 23. Mostly chrome with some black. And, I know there is a new picture. You know, one of those new pictures I was sending you tonight. There's the old picture, which is probably a better picture. I don't know. But you can see it in all its glory in the darkness, and the other pictures as well. 23 channels, crystal-controlled transmit and receive for no waiting. There are 10 tubes, and this is the original microphone. It's an aesthetic, what is this, 520, hold on. Yeah, aesthetic 525, says ECI on the front. Well, you know, it was made for them by Aesthetic. Handheld, unamplified type microphone. Anything else I need to say about? Oh, yeah, it's $100 takes it.
Got a good picture. Yeah, I'm using your original shot that we've been using. Shows the microphonium at the top. It's got the somebody's original 3x4 call letters back in the 1960s. Classic Courier audio. Got an S-meter, 23 channels. This was the mid-60s radio that was it wasn't quite the budget, but if you had a little extra and you couldn't afford the Brownings or the Trams, this is what you got. It's nice, loud audio, all the channels, and looks doggone good and sounds good. So back to you.
Yeah, and it is a base mobile. I do not have a mobile cord with one. I never did that. I had 5 other radios that I made base mobile, and I thought, no, that's enough. So this one is wired up for AC only right now. I'm sure if somebody finds the right paperwork, they might be able to make it go mobile as well. And I do not have a mobile bracket for it. So I'll let the other guys go. Thanks for letting me squeeze that in there.
All right, we'll take one more transmission. I got the close-up up, the band spread, so you got a Delta tune. There is a switch under the meter. I think it says range boost, but I could be wrong, and then looks like you've got a PACB. So I guess the question would be, what is the switch? And maybe you told me, but I didn't write it down. What is the switch under the meter? Over.
No, I didn't, because I forgot about it. Yeah, that is the range boost switch. It does not, the meter automatically switches from transmit to receive, so you don't got to worry about that. I'm currently in the range boost configuration, and don't make me throw that switch, because it might need a little cleaning. Back to you.
No, you don't need to. I figured it's got to be on because you're really loud with the microphone, and John mentioning that bet a D104 would complement it. I think so. Nice loud audio, and it looks like it's got full fidelity. So whatever microphone you want to put in there should work good, and you've got the range boost to go with it. Listening to the Courier 23 from Cliff's collection, and that one is currently for sale. Can't go wrong with that. Thanks, Cliff.
Thank you, and for information, contact your local Harvey bottler.
The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, and we have a couple more, so don't go away. Let's head over to Eric. Got a good signal in here tonight. 17 has found another one on the radio shelf. Take a transmission, 17. If it's working.
I stepped away from the radio for a second, and I am back.
All right, you are back and sounding good, so take a transmission on the radio and let us know what you got.
Well, I have a Johnson Messenger 223, and since I am somewhat antenna challenged, I am borrowing from the Brownie complement, the Little Helper. So we have a 223 with the nice big SRS meter, channel dial, and it's a major improvement from the loaf of bread radio that I started transmitting on as a youngster. Anyway, from E.F. Johnson, the Messenger 223 with the matching, basically it's a Turner desk microphone.
Good. It's good all the way around. The E.F. Johnsons were sort of like Volkswagen Beetles. They sort of kept the same thing. And, in the Bugs, it's like, yeah, let's make the taillights bigger. Let's make the, rear window bigger. Let's give you a little more room. Let's make the headlights better. And that's what they did. The Johnson Viking Whiteface, then the Messenger 2, and they sort of fixed some of the selectivity, sensitivity problems, put some more channels in, and then the 223 is just what it said. It's a Messenger 2 sort of turned sideways. They built in, the power supply, and it wasn't a mobile radio, and they gave you 23 channels on an S meter, and probably maybe cleaned up the front end a little bit. So it's sort of the same radio it was for 10 years, but they kept adding it and making it nice and better. And they did a good job of making it look not too busy, giving you just what you need. The lighted meter, 23 channels, and turn it on and sit the squelch, and anybody can use it, and it looks cool. And we'll be talking about it in the 21st century like we are now, built like a tank. E.F. Johnson, you can't go wrong with that company. Back to you. Another transmission. The amplifier's working great with it. Over.
You know what? You brought up something that really struck me, and as I'm looking at the radio, and the 223 is basically your loaf of bread radio, just a little bit wider to incorporate the speaker on the side, which was in the original radio was pointed out to the right. Yeah, I just to the left side. Anyway, so they kept the speaker on the left side, if I'm not mistaken, but they put it out front for the 23 channel. Hey, the Whiteface only had 5 channels. Anyway, Johnson, great radio, been there from the beginning, and still going strong.
Indeed. And UDX 3030 said the boys in Wasika, Edgar F., weren't real adventures in their design, but they ran forever. And when you think about E.F. Johnson with the Viking and the Valiant and the Adventure and the Thunderbolt, the 50s, early 60s, big iron, 80, 100-pound, basically broadcast transmitter radios for amateur use. It's just amazing that they even got into 11 meters, and then they sort of stopped doing the hams thing and had their, on-the-shelf, off-the-shelf messengers and just kept them up. And then they were one of the first ones back when this came out, 68, 69, 70, to start putting in the solid-state mobile radios, the 123, the 323. And I think they realized, these are selling. We're selling thousands of these things. So they just kind of kept going and basically gave you, if it works and it looks good and it fits in your car and it's not too complicated, we'll keep it going. We need a radio ham guy, Larry, who used to work there in the 80s and at E.F. Johnson. So it was a great place to work. He said, just watch out for the crystals. He said, sometimes they would drift, but yours is fine. Radio's number 8, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, written out. What does the guy say? In your grandmother's handwriting right on the top, like a fancy address in a busy street. Thanks, Eric, for bringing it by. And good to hear you on the frequency tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks. And one of these days I'll get the old, gosh, what is it? I'm not sure if it's a Valiant. Gosh, darn it. I bought it from a gentleman down in Bakersfield. It's been sitting in storage for too many years now and needs to be resurrected. It was all recapped and redone and aligned when I got it. It's been on Old Tube Radio Network before. I want to say it's a Viking. Anyway, Maybe in the future.
Yeah, I remember that. It's 807, 811, 6146. I can't remember what they ran. Now, you might have mentioned this. One more transmission before you go. There are two versions. One has a modulation light, one does not. According to Harvey, that circuit was always in the radio. Just at some point, they brought it to the front. So which one do you have? Is it got the blinky light in the front or not?
Okay, on the messenger, I have nothing to show indication of transmission other than the meter tickling forward as I speak.
Got it. Okay, I had the right radio because there's one that has the modulation light through the front of Sketchum. So I got the right one up. All right, thanks for bringing it by. We got another radio we're heading to. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. Where are we at? My name's Dennis, one of the many net controllers that sit in the air chair. We are here in Central California. We're live on channel 1127-085, where it is a little past 10 o'clock. If you're watching the replay, something we've been doing here for 40 years is letting people stop by, drive the radios around the block, make sure they work, and sort of enjoy what it was like back in the day. Some of us were around, some of us weren't, but we're having fun. SWL 223. Remember, you don't have to have any numbers or special things to join in with us. We're glad you are here. And this is a treat because this will be the first time I think I've had a decent conversation over the air with Robert, and he's got a radio for us tonight. So go ahead, sir. You're our radio number 9. Over.
Yeah, good evening, Dennis. Hopefully this sounds okay. Unfortunately, the Webster band spanner, one of the 3 radios I brought, didn't survive the jostling in the mobile, so I am right now on the Mustang 2, Metrotech Mustang 2, with an amplified D104. Curious how it sounds.
It sounds great, and I got to find it here, the picture of that radio. If I knew how to search, I'd have it up here sooner. Here we go. Should dial in on the full page ad. This is the radio that we are hearing, the Metrotech Mustang 2. It looks like it's in off-the-shelf, bought it at the store, brand new condition. Pretty radio, nice audio. I'll be curious to know what microphone you're using. Back to you.
It's an amplified D104. I also have the original microphone I can put back on. I decided to break that on that picture. That's before I modified it, so it's got a little pigtail that comes out to 4-pin Cobra, so I can swap microphones.
Well, nice audio. Next time around, I'll do the zero beat on the frequency check. The Mustang 2, probably it's got the S meter. What was the Metrotech that Harvey brought by? The Metro Star. I think this is, I don't know if it's a newer version. I didn't have a year on that one. So anyway, back to you. I want to see where we're at on frequency. Sounds good, though.
A lot of time looking at it, but it seemed like when it was on, I don't know that I've had it on for this long in one stretch, but I think it's probably around 550.
Yeah, you are, so where was it, 84, 4.5. So that would be indeed 550. So still within the FCC range back in the day when I think they gave you 700 either way. So it's a good deal. It's got a good bunch of audio. There's not a lot of low frequency in the audio register, but that is not a bad thing. It punches through just fine.
Yeah, it's got some good modulation. The carrier's a little anemic right now. It's still a work in progress. It's putting out about 10 watts peak. The next transmission, I'll come back here with the stock microphone, and it doesn't swing as much. When I disconnect, I'm going to lose audio, though.
Not a problem. I've got the S meter up. I've got some attenuation going, so it's showing about S3 or S4, but you sound loud. I think I've got 12 dB of attenuation to keep my noise level down. We'll go back to the big picture and go into the microphone we're probably looking at in the picture here. Standing by.
Okay, and this differences with the stock microphone, stock amp microphone.
Yeah, audio drops maybe about 50%. Doesn't have the a high frequency punch, but it doesn't sound bad. So there you go. Probably need a Demco modulator with the cool microphone. So these radios, the tube radios actually respond well to different microphones because this is before they built in modulation clippers and limiters and trying to keep everything to 100%. So if the radio do 125% with the right microphone, that's the way to find. So yeah, you with the other microphone doing good. I think you've got the levels set with no problem. This one you just have to speak up a little bit into it, and it still works good. Over.
Yeah, Roger. It may be a bad element. I don't know, but anyway, it's grammatically not as good as the D104, and I don't think this D104 is actually on that stage. Okay, I'm going to shut this one down. I have one more radio here, but I've got to go out to the passenger side and change cables, so I don't know if there's someone else, but if not, I'll be back after I change cables, so the radio number 2.
No problem. Yeah, the audio quality is not bad. It's just very weak on the gain, but it doesn't sound like it's pinched in the frequency. So maybe the element is good, but just needs a little more talk power or whatever. But the other microphone, no problem. All right, I think Harvey is standing by, and then we should have some room for you after that. The Old Tube Radio Network. Hello, 20.
Is Robert at home?
I think he is, as we say on the two-way radio, mobile somewhere.
Okay. When he had the extra audio, I could make out about 80% of what he said. When he cut the audio down, or he moved, that's when I lost him.
Yeah, no, the significant decrease in the modulation percentage, but if you watch the replay, he's got a good signal here into a net control, 100% copy with no problem. Over.
Well, okay. Anyway, I'll wait till everybody's done. Then I'll check in the Beagle, and then a few more Clips radios that are for sale.
Are you on the Beagle now?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, let's check it in now because we're going to go back to Robert. He's got another radio probably plugged in and ready to go. So we'll make you, you get in the double digits here, make you radio 10 on the Browning R68, T68. This is the first of the Brownings to have the word golden in front of the eagle. The prior one that we heard from Eric, the R27 S23, was the first one to have the eagle after the Browning. And then I think the radio after yours would have been the Mark II. So it's a little, I don't know what differences were, but so you got one of a kind. Over.
Roger. Okay. Well, this is the Beagle with the D104 with the Browning medallion on the back of the head of the D104. And this has the actual real medallion. Some people have come up with stickers that they make to kind of get close to it, but this is the real deal. Okay, I'll turn it back to you, and we'll listen for Robert with another radio.
Back to me in the studio. Let me get the full page ad quickly, see what we're looking at here. So this was the larger receiver, transmitter in the box, a little bit different than the R27 S23. And they had the nice flying eagle on the speakers. You know, it was the Golden Eagle by Browning. I think they made these things for a year, maybe 18 months between the Eagle and the Mark II. Back in the day when these were around $400. So the top of the line radio, $400 or $500 for a while. You could still for $150, $200 get something like the General Radio Telephone or the E.F. Johnson. So a good time. So if you didn't buy that 19-inch black and white console television for the living room, you could always jump in and get one of these radios. Let's go see if, Robert, are you ready? You've probably got your radio number 2 hooked up. Over.
Yes, I am. This is Cardone Import Company Limited, Spitfire Mark XL. This is one of Cliff's radios. I'm curious if it has any hum in the audio. I noticed some last night when I was testing it, and it seemed to kind of vary with where I had the microphone, so I may have been picking up some RF from the shack or whatever, but it does have a little bit of hum if you turn the audio all the way down. I've recapped everything except for 2 caps that are really a pain to change, and they're also kind of, I've got to get them from Mauser. They're not available from a lot of the normal parts dealers, but other than that, it seems to be working okay, but curious if it has any hum on transmit.
Sounds pretty clean here. Of course, you're not 20 over, but typically if the hum is bad, you get a little AC note in the audio, which I don't hear at all. When your carrier's resting, I don't hear any hum at all. So not to say that it isn't there, but if it's there, it's way down. Or like you said, you have to listen near field at 30 or 40 over to hear a little bit. So it sounds pretty clean to me. The audio quality is very similar to the Mustang 2 in pitch and everything. So I'm not sure if you're using the same microphone that you did with the 2, because it sounds similar, but nice signal, nice audio over.
A lot louder over here.
Yeah, this is the same amplified D104 with the range expand on.
Yeah, it has that microphone has a sound. It makes your voice have a certain sound to it, so it works well with that radio. I think that may be those Panasonic 2 chassis that were on inside those radios. I think are plate modulated, so it's not, like Harvey said. It is nice and loud. Not a problem at all, and it's a pretty cool. We got a picture of the radio. The radio you're using should have it looks like a green surround cabinet and everything. So nice and loud, no problem.
Yep, I'm happy to have it, and I did a bit of work on it, and Harvey had to help me out. Made some recap some things in the PLL, and it went out of lock, and so he had to straighten that out for me. Rule number 1, don't change too many things at the same time, but other than that, it seems to be working good, and another one of the another green radio in the collection.
All right, I was playing around doing the 0 beat, about 100 cycles low, so that's pretty close. But the telltale sign of doing that, I think I do hear a little bit of AC note, not very much. But if you listen to the replay that I just did, you'll hear me kick into the sideband. You can probably hear a little bit of an AC note. I don't really pick that up on AM that much, and I don't think it's getting into the audio or affecting it much at all. So should be good. Certainly will be good on a Saturday evening for the Old Tube Radio Network. This is, let's see. Oh, this is a clone of the T240D, because I wasn't looking and listening well, but this is the 40-channel version of the Mark XL. So one of the last tube radios from 76, 77, possibly 78. So definitely a keeper over.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to start tearing things down and pack up and head home. But thanks for checking me in. Thanks for running the net, Dennis. And thanks again, Harvey. SWL223, clear.
All right, that's a good location. I've got 100% copy on you. We've got a quiet frequency tonight. Not sure what you've got for an antenna, but it's working well here in Midtown Fresno, 100% copy. Radio 11, the Cardone Spitfire Mark XL. I should have some reverb going on when I say that. Sounds like an old TV show. The Old Tube Radio Network, the Jingle Singers are ready. I will come back. We'll see if we got any more radios before we sign out here tonight.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
And who said it reminds them of the Gemtronics? Yeah, Bill William. That is basically is what it is. It's inside probably is the GTX 5000 but the Cardone is going to have a little, we still have a picture. Yeah, it's going to maybe have a little different controls in the front or similar. But I bet if you went inside, looked at the interior schematics, it's going to be exactly like a Gemtronics GTX 5000. The Old Tube Radio Network. Anybody else before we sign out of here?
Comment.
This is your comment frequency. Over.
Yeah, it's just like the T-Berry Model T 40-channel digital.
Yes, okay. There's probably, I'm trying to think of all the ones that went to 40 channels, but it should be. And they all sound good, because again, I think they're sort of a plate modulated chassis. So if you get anywhere half decent audio going in there, it'll come out good. Thanks. Do a little counting and amounting, and I will be right back. Thanks for those of you who are staying up late into the next millennium, at least until Sunday, joining us tonight. And if not, the replay is around. We got some good radios tonight.
Can I do Cliff's radios?
Yeah, now is a good time. The what's left and what can be picked up, and we might have heard some of them already. So thank you, Harvey, for reminding me. Back to you for the items of interest. Over.
Okay. What Cliff had on the air tonight, a Courier 23, 100 ECI mic, a Knight C22 100 original manual with it, a Hammerlin HQ 105 TR 250 amplified D104. Keep going down. Okay, a Hallicrafter CB3A, $80. Lafayette HE15B. HE15B, as in boy. $75, that Lafayette. Let's see, a Johnson Viking Messenger, the white-face type one, $100 with 2 mics. And let me keep looking. I think there's 2 more. Yeah, Pierce Simpson Guardian 23, original mic, 100, and a Polycom Senior 23 AC/DC cords, 200. And that's it. Thank you, Dennis.
And thank you, Harvey. Just checking my notes here. Let's get on. Let's see. I take that picture there. So, let's see. Anything else? And then there was the fanfare.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
Current and final totals, such that they are at 10:35. We're getting back into the old days. We just had to keep. We had to keep going. Thank you, Foxman. What are those? It's got everything you'd ever want on the screen there. What do we do? SWL's 19 on page 1, 22 on page 2, 11 on page 3, and 24 on page 4, for a total of about 76 or something close to it. And radios tonight we had 11, and I'm looking at my chart here to see if we had 2 of anything. Oh yeah, I guess the Brownings came in with 2 moisture manufactured, but it's a very eclectic mix tonight with some very loud radios and ones you don't hear all the time, like the one Phil started out, the BA-23 Burstein Appleby from Joe and Bob and Ray, or whatever the names were. I'll get it here. Joe and Merle, Joe Burstein and Merle Appleby, working out of the trunk of their car, and who would have known that they'd have a radio here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for the BA-23, Phil. Radio number 2, the Tram Titan 2A from Cliff's collection. And I believe that one is also for sale. Nice audio on that. If you want to do any replay, if you go to oldtuberadio.net, there's an archive button. If you click that, I think it'll take you to a page, and you can pick your date and listen in or watch in. If you had a radio tonight and you want to hear the replay or how it sounded, easy to do. Go to the archives at oldtuberadio.net, and when it takes you to the big page, pick your date and then scroll through it and get your good stuff. Radio number 3, the Browning Eagle R27 S23. Who is Eric from, haven't heard the Eagle with the business band amp for a while. You're doing a good job tonight with the setup. Didn't have any trouble copying at all. The Metro Tech Metro Star Harvey on the Metro Techs are sleeper radio. I didn't hear that many back in when I was starting my CB career, but they were around. They were a nice, friendly, budget-priced radio, and you can see they're still around. So they were built well, not super fancy, but would get you on the air. After the Metro Tech, Radio 5, the Sonar Model H 1017, Radio Lifer, Liferrrr. Sit in the driver's seat and listen and see what it sounds like when you are at the microphonium on that one, the Model H, sounding good. Radio number 6, the Buddy Bass, the RC11B, TX11B from Phil, one of the louder radios tonight, but it's a Buddy. You can't help but be loud when you are in front of the microphone on a Buddy. Courier 23, Radio 7, Green Arrow on the... oh, no, I'm sorry. The Tram was sold, I think, but this one was for sale. The Courier 23 from Green Arrow, Radio 7. The E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, Eric, on the classic E.F. Johnson radio from 68, 69, 70, sort of cloned off into the Sears brand. They gave it a 4-digit number, but you can't go wrong. If you're looking for a radio to start a collection that's not too difficult, it's got too many weird things going on inside and pieces and parts that'll fall off, that's your radio, the 223. Metro Tech Mustang 2. Oh, well, there's a second Metro Tech. I stand corrected. The Metro Techs, as well as the Brownings, heard twice tonight. The Mustang 2 from Robert, somewhere near Madera tonight. Good to hear Robert on the frequency, doing a little extra effort to get into the old tube radio tonight. I appreciate that, and all the radios sounded good. The Metro Tech Mustang 2, I've seen the picture forever. Now we're hearing the radio. Harvey with the Browning Golden Eagle, or is that the Beagle, the R68, T68, and then Robert once again with the Cardone Spitfire Mark XL. And Harvey said, yeah, that's the loud one. Thanks, everybody. Good to be back in the air chair. Should do this next week. It's the second. No, I'm okay. It's on Friday, so we'll see you here next week. Hopefully, all things will still be. Uh-oh. Yeah, when I get my. There we go. You can hear me now. When I get my radio to work, I think I've got good modulation. Is sending the range boost into wacky time here. Anyway, thanks everybody. We'll do it again next week. If you're studying for your ham radio license, the band's still good. Keep it up. Working for the upgrades. A lot of us, when we get off of the 11-meter side, we're listening, whether it's digitally FT8 or some phone on 10 meters is always open. If you're a tech, if you're looking to get into some radio collecting, looks like we've got some nice radios for sale. And if you've got a collection, go to oldtuberadio.net. We've got a new way to upload pictures. It's right under the big tube. And do that. We've got a lot of nice radios up there, and we will feature them throughout the week on our page there. So feel free to do that. We've got some great collections. 73, everybody, and thanks for staying up late. We'll catch you next time on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Thanks, Dennis.
Over.
Thanks, Ova. Good night. Good night.
Yeah, it was working good. Some stations that we don't normally get to hear tonight stopping by. And I was pretty good about not breaking stuff. Oh.
Dennis?
All right, I'm making an adjustment here. Hold on. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on. I'll find the knob yet. There you go. Trying to figure out how to run my radio. All right, you can hear me now. Go ahead.
Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis. Over.
I think you might have said the Tram Titan 2A was for sale. It's not. It's already, promised, etc. Just needs to be shipped.
You are right. I did say that, and I think I caught myself somewhere down the list. Reminder that it was already spoken for, but the one that was for sale was the Courier 23.
That is most correct. Okay, Dennis. Catch you next week.
All right, we will be around. Boy, it is warm in the Radio Shack tonight. That 81-degree temperature is starting to warm things up. But had a good time. Like I said, good to hear Robert out there and Eric and Phil on some nice radios, yourself included, and all the, like they say on the Gilligan Island and the rest.
Yeah, Roger. I was finally able to hear Robert real well with the Spitfire. That was great. Okay. And then...
Hey, Smitty, are you still there? KB6GFD.
Eric, yeah. Heard him better tonight than before. Okay. We'll see you next week.
Indeed. You know, I forgot to pick up an Echo Link. Smitty out of Sacramento listening tonight, but he's probably stepped away from the radio. See if he's still there. WB1G, are you still got the audio up? Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark on the
Okay, I gotta go. I gotta work in the morning. Just remembered. Oh, boy. Okay, I got an hour's worth of paperwork, and then I gotta work in the morning. Okay, we'll see you.
Okay, no rest for the you-know-who. Someday you'll get to sleep in.
No, I'll be working on a radio. We'll see you.
All right, well, that's better than working on the railroad. 72 plus 1 from the old Tube Radio Network. And just a quick transmitter test on Class Alpha. Yeah, might not be spiking things up, but it seems like it's... you can still hear me out there, so it's working. All right, good night, everybody. Boy, this is shining in everybody's face, wasn't it? Should have put it right there. Now I'm doing my house cleaning. Good night, everybody. The old Tube Radio Network. Let's put the S meter on, if I can find it. Oh man! All right, I got 1 minute of energy left. I think I can do this without breaking something. I wanted to go to 40 meters and see what's going on.
I'll be standing by at habang naghihintay.
Okay, there's the audio guys on 78. Pretty quiet. I don't even hear any broadcast band stations. Somebody near 18. And I can only hear one side of the conversation, I think.
You're making it, man. Like I said, maybe conditions changed for our favor there. But
see where this guy's
doing
at.
real good, man. Nice to meet you. Name here is Jason, over.
7217.
Sure. Alpha Delta Niner Hotel Tango AD9HT QSL.
Nice audio. 89HT is Indiana.
All right.
Jason.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Catch you again sometime. 7-3, my friend.
And you're fading out. So the band is long. That's on the wire. Can't hear who he's talking to. And Richie, it's guys that sound like Italy over here. Let's see if they're still there. They're at 78. I think they just signed off. They're local. Might be here on the West Coast. They run the digital radios, and I think they're from the Philippines. I mean, they're Filipino, but they're here in the States. So big signals in the 1,000-mile range on 40 meters tonight. And of course, Jason was probably running a kilowatt. Let's go down to 75. Boy, that's quiet. Oh, we're on the wrong antenna, that's why. That'll be more local West Coast.
Little girl got hit by the truck.
Yeah, 3,900. Last night, the guys from Florida were coming in big. I've got the IPO on. Anyway, the signals are better on 40. A lot of static tonight. All right, good enough. Yeah, the Texas kilowatt guys on 3933.
Did you really shit on him? I bet you splattered him. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was pretty moist.
3933. These guys are probably in 5s or 4s out in Louisiana, Texas. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm listening on 75 meters, so the band's going to be a little bit shorter.
So, you know,
these guys are local.
Really, they're wacko, man. They're frickin' wacko, and they don't know. You know, they still have no idea. You know who's feeding them. I mean, they don't even get that.
3,900. I think these guys are all on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's just a crying shame.
That's Dennis. He does the swap net. He's in California.
The Democrats are actually Democrats again.
So there you go. Talking about what people talk about on Hammy Radio. All right, good night, everybody. That is enough static for one evening. Yeah, the tie is still straight. Pretty good. Oh, not here. That is exactly right. It's Saturday night. You know they're going to be up till 2 in the morning. I remember when I could do that. In fact, we used to do that at the end of OTR. Be 11 o'clock. The bowling alley was still open. It's like, you guys want to go bowling? We'd end up at the bowling alley until midnight. Good night, everybody.